Hello everyone, this is Professor Pawan Shwankar and I welcome you in a 43rd lecture of Control System Engineering. And today's topic of discussion is again a numerical on root locus. So the numerical is sketch root locus for g of s into h of s equal to k in bracket s plus 0.1 divided by s minus 0.2 s square plus s plus 0.6. So for this numerical, let us calculate first number of poles and number of zeros. So poles are the values of all the s in denominator. So we have 4 values of s. So pole are 4 and the values of poles are 0. Then s minus 0.2 equal to 0, that means s equal to plus 0.2. Then for this quadratic equation, s square plus s plus 0.6. So calculate this equation on a calci and you will get two values of s. The values are minus 0.5 plus minus 0.59 I. So one value is minus 0.5 plus 0.59 I and second value is minus 0.5 minus 0.59 I. And talking about 0, so we have 1 0 here and the value of 0 is s plus 0.1 equal to 0, that means s equal to minus 0.1. So minus 0.1. So number of poles are 4 and number of zeros are 1. So number of root locus will be the bigger number among pole and 0. So 4 is bigger, so number of root locus will be 4. Then out of these 4 branches of root locus, how many branches will approach to infinity, which is given by p minus z. So number of branches approaching to infinity, okay, approaching to infinity are p minus z, that is 4 minus 1 equal to 3. So out of 3 branches of root locus, 4 branches of root locus, 3 branches will go to infinity and remain 1 branch will end on given 0, that is 0.1 minus 0.1. So next step is existence of root locus. So considering this as a S-plane and plot all the poles and zeros. So first pole is at 0, then 0.2, this is not minus 0.2, this is a plus 0.2, so it will be plotted on right hand side of S-plane. So this is the right hand side and suppose here we have our pole at like 0.2. Next is 0.5 plus minus 0.59. So suppose 1 2 3 4 and suppose here 5. So on axis 0.5 and on y-axis 0.59. Suppose somewhere here we have our complex poles and the values are minus 0.5 plus 0.59 I. Likewise 0.5 minus 0.5 minus 0.59 I. Then we have 1 0 which is at minus 0.1. So suppose our scale is 1 centimeter is equal to 0.1 unit. So 0, 0.1, 0.2. So this is a 0.1 which is of minus and this is a 0. So mark all the poles by cross and zeros by circle. Now existence of root locus. So region will start from infinity. So infinity to 0.2, 0.2 to 0, 0 to minus 0.1 and minus 0.1 to minus infinity. These are the regions in which we have to check our root locus region. So very first region is infinity to 0.2. So in this region, if we check on right hand side of any point, number of poles and zeros are 0. So this is NRL, non-root locus region. Then between 0.2 to 0, put any point, check on right hand side and count number of poles. So number of pole on right hand side is 1, which is 0.2. 1 is odd figure, that's why it is a root locus region. Likewise non-root locus region, root locus region. Obviously this is a again non-root locus region, and this is root locus region. Got it? Then this is of existence of root locus. Existence of root locus. Then what is the next step? Next step is about asymptotes, in which angle and location included. So angle of asymptote is given by theta equal to twice cube plus 1 into 180 divided by p minus z, where q equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 up to p minus z minus 1. P minus z minus 1. So p minus z is 4 minus 1, that is 3. 3 minus 1, 2. So up to 2, 0, 1, 2. These are the values of q. As we got 3 values for q, we will get 3 angles. So putting each value one by one, you will get theta 1 as 60 degree, then theta 2 as 180 degree, and theta 3 is 300 degree. 3 angles. That means complete circle is divided in a 3 part: 60, 180 and 300. Got it? So these are the angles of asymptote. Now the next part is location of asymptote, that is given by sigma. So sigma is summation of real part of pole minus summation of real part of 0 divided by p minus z. So sigma equal to summation of real part of pole. So first value is a 0 plus then 0.2 plus next value is minus 0.5 plus minus 0.5 again. So 0 plus 0.2 plus minus 0.5 plus minus 0.5 minus summation of real part of 0. So in 0 value is minus 0.1 minus 0.1. Okay, divide by p minus z, that is 4 minus 1, 3. So value of sigma is 0.23. Sigma is 0.23. Where it is lying? It is a positive, plus 0.23. So 0.23 somewhere here, sigma. Okay. So from this point we will draw different angles like 60, 180 and 300. It is not necessary that our sigma, that is location of asymptote, should lie in root locus region. Sometimes it may be in a non-root locus region, because root locus may or may not be the part of, sigma is may or may not be the part of root locus. Now the next step is breakaway point. For breakaway point, let us consider characteristic equation, which is 1 plus g of s into h of s equal to 0. So 1 plus k s plus 0.1 divided by s minus 0.2 and s square plus s plus 0.6 equal to 0. So let us just multiply all these brackets and let it multiplied with 1, cross multiplication, so we will get complete multiplication. I am talking about s raised to 4 plus 0.8 s cube plus 0.4 s square minus 0.12 s plus k in bracket s plus 0.1 equal to 0. This is the last step. After multiplication with 1, cross multiplication, then equating with 0. So we will get s raised to 4 plus 0.8 s cube plus 0.4 s square minus 0.12 s plus k in bracket s plus 0.1 equal to 0. Now the next step is write this same equation for the value of k. So k equal to minus of s raised to 4 plus 0.8 s cube plus 0.4 s square minus 0.12 s, this bracket complete, divide by s plus 0.1. Now derivation of above term, above equation. So here apply the division rule. So denominator as it is, then derivative of numerator minus numerator as it is, derivative of denominator divided by denominator square. So dk by ds equal to 0. So dk by ds equal to 0 equal to differentiation we will get after differentiation and equating with 0, the last term comes out to be 5s raised to 4 plus 2s cube plus 0.64 s square plus 0.08 s minus 0.012 equal to 0. So this is the differentiation of above equation. So you can see this is a fourth power equation of s. So how many values we'll get for s? 4 values. So s equal to 0.15. If it is not possible on a calci, try to solve this equation by synthetic division method. So first value is 0.15, then minus 0.45. Remaining two values are complex and conjugate pair, so which are invalid values. So out of these two we need to check which is valid and which one is invalid. So 0.15 and minus 0.45, let us check it. Values are 0.15 and minus 0.45. So 0.15 in positive region, 0 to 0.2. So 0.15 lie in 0 to 0.2, that means this is a valid value because it comes in a root locus region. And minus 0.45, 0 to 0.1, then 0.1, .45, so 0.4, 0.1 to infinity. Again this value is also valid, both values are valid. Okay, so the next term is, or the next step is intersection with imaginary axis. Intersection with imaginary axis. Again consider characteristic equation, which was s raised to 4 plus 0.8 s cube plus 0.4 s square minus 0.12 s plus k in bracket s plus 0.1 equal to 0. So we need to arrange this equation according to power. So s to 4, 3, 2, 1, again there is s, so we have to simplify this. So s raised to 4 plus 0.8 s cube plus 0.4 s square to get here 0.12 s and ks. So I will take out s as a common, so we will get plus k minus 0.12. We have taken s as a common, so k minus 0.12. This is a coefficient of s, and constant term is 0.1 k, multiplication of k and 0.1 plus 0.1 k equal to 0. Now we have arranged our equation drawing roots array. So s raised to 4, 3, 2, then 1 and 0. Power of s raised to 4, coefficient is 1, then 0.4, 0.1 k. We need to arrange this pattern with alternate values, okay? And 0.8 k minus 0.12, and last term is 0. So here 0.8 into 0.4 minus 1 into k minus 0.12 divided by 0.8. So we will get here 0.44 minus k divided by 0.8. Okay, and here this term into 0.1 k divided by 0 minus 0.4 into 0 divided by same term. So here we will get 0.1 k. Likewise again 0.44 minus k divided by 0.8 into this bracket minus 0.8 into 0.1 k divided by again same term. So after solving all this, we will get we will not get a single value for k marginal. We will get here a quadratic equation for k, and that equation is, after solving this, we'll get here after multiplication of these minus this divided by this value. So we will get k square minus 0.49 k plus 0.052 equal to 0. Solving this equation will gives you two values of k. So first value k equal to 0.3413 and second value of k is 0.15. And if we put k is equal to 0.3413 in auxiliary equation, which we will get here, like 0.44 minus 0.3413 divided by 0.8 s square minus or plus 0.1 k. So quadratic equation will be 0.44 minus k divided by 0.8 s square plus 0.1 k equal to 0. Now put the value of k here and here. So when you put value of k like 0.3413, s will be plus minus 0.52 plus minus I, and when k is 0.15, so we will get s equal to plus minus 0.2. Now after intersection point, for this numerical you can see we got two intersection point. 2 means our root locus will intersect on imaginary axis with the 2 points. So, and the next step is angle of departure. Angle of departure. So for angle of departure, let us again consider S-plane, in which first pole, second pole, third pole, fourth pole, and 1 0 we have, which is at point 1, minus point 1. This is at minus point 2. This is 0. This is minus 0.5 plus 0.59 I, and this is minus 0.5 minus 0.59 I. So if you think that we need to calculate angle of departure at this pole, so connect all these pole and zeros with a straight line. And one at here. So this is the first pole, so phi P1. This is second pole, phi P2. This is a 0, 0.1 is a 0, so this is phi Z1, and this is a pole, so phi P1, 2, this is a 3. Now angle of departure is given by phi d equal to 180 minus phi, and phi is summation of angle made by pole, summation phi p minus summation phi z, and summation of angle made by 0. So phi p, so phi p1, phi p2 and phi p3, value of phi p1 equal to, now here look at this, suppose we know this is a 90s angle and remain this angle. So if you talk about this angle, consider this triangle complete, and if you calculate theta, so theta will be tan inverse opposite by adjacent. So complete phi p1 will be 90 plus this theta, so 90 plus theta is tan inverse of opposite is, see, 0.5 from this point, 0.5, and this is 0.2, so 0.7, completely it is a 0.7, divided by adjacent is this value, this height, which is 0.59. So phi p1 is combinedly 139.87 degree. Likewise phi p2, so for phi p2, this combined angle, in which this angle is 90, only this one, and for remain this angle, again consider this triangle, so theta equal to again opposite by adjacent. So for this triangle, opposite is only 0.5, so phi p2 combinedly 90 plus tan inverse of 0.5 divided by adjacent is 0.59. So phi p2 is 130.27 degree. Then phi p3, this is phi p3 and it is 90 degree. And lastly phi z1, look at phi z1, this angle. So in this angle, if we consider vertical, so this is a 90, remain only this angle. So for this angle, consider this triangle, so theta, so 90 plus tan inverse, this theta is opposite, opposite is only this length, So we are at 0.1. This is completely 0.5. That means remaining is 0.4 by adjacent is complete height, that is a 0.59. 0.59. So phi z1 will be 124.13. 124.13. So we have calculated all the values. So let us calculate phi. Phi is summation of angle made by pole minus summation of angle made by 0. So summation of phi p 139.87 plus 130.27 plus 90 minus summation of angle made by 0, that is minus 124.13. So 139.87 plus 130.27 plus 90 minus phi z1 124.13. So phi is, we will get phi as 236.01 degree. This is a phi, and phi d is 180 minus 236.01. So it is minus 56.1 degree, 56.01. So around it is approximately 56 degree. So phi d is 0.5, sorry, phi d is minus 56 degree, and here, so this is horizontal. Suppose somewhere here we will get angle of phi d. So now let us draw root locus. Our poles are at 0, then at 0.2. Suppose this is a 0.1, 0.2. Then 1 0 is at 0.1. 0 is marked by circle. So 0.1, which is minus. Then complex pole 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 and 0.5 here. Here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Suppose here. Just for understanding purpose, I am writing, showing this point somewhat below at the specified point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Suppose here. Okay, suppose. Let us consider, because insufficiency of space I am showing here. So this, but this point is minus 0.5. Just a minute. Minus 0.5 minus 0.59i, and this is minus 0.5 plus 0.59i. Okay, then sigma, we got sigma at 0.23. So this is a 0.3, 0.25, 0.23. Suppose here. So sigma equal to 0.23. Then asymptotes, one at 60, like this. Next it at 180 degree. And third at 300 degree. 300 degree. Then break away point are 0.15. 0.15. Suppose here. Be a point. 0.15. Okay, and another breakaway point is minus 0.45. So non-root locus region, then root locus region, non-root locus region. It comes in, no, it is 0.45. So 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 and 0.4, 0.45 here. Got it? Next, intersection with imaginary axis. So intersection with imaginary axis points are plus 0.2 I, suppose 1, 2, omega n equal to 0.2 radian per second at k equal to 0.3413. So likewise 1 and 2, and second intersection point is 0.52. 0.1, 2, 3, 4. For understanding purpose I am writing here, but you should draw it at accurate space. So omega n is equal to 0.52 at k equal to 0.15, and suppose here. Okay, then phi d is minus 56. So suppose this is the angle of phi d equal to 56 degree, and at this position we'll get like this, phi d is equal to 56 degree. So this is completely a construction part. Now we will draw root locus. So I am changing the ink now. Okay, root locus always start from pole. So pole is at 1, 2. This is the pole. This is the sigma. So this is a pole. Again this is the pole. Root locus will draw in this direction. One root locus will draw in this direction. So they will intersect at breakaway point like here, and will split like this. Okay, this they have splitted. Then you can see that to follow the asymptote, this root locus should pass through intersection point twice. So it will follow like, first of all it will go through 0.2, then 0.5, and then we'll go along the asymptote. Okay, so only in this numerical our root locus is intersecting imaginary axis twice. Likewise second branch will go first from this point, then we'll go through this point, and then follow asymptote of this. Okay, so to parallel this it will go to infinity. Then next is this pole and this pole. So from this pole, these two pole, root locus is starting at angle of departure, that is a phi d, like this. So I am drawing two root locus. These two root locus will come at a valid breakaway point for intersection. So this is a breakaway point. So they will come at this point. Then this root locus will come at this breakaway point. From this one branch will end on 0 and one branch will go to remaining asymptote. Remaining asymptote is at 180 degree, and this is a point 1 is a 0, so one branch of root locus will end on this 0 and another branch, remaining branch, will go to the infinity along the asymptote. Okay, so all the conditions should be satisfied this by this problem. So you can see 3 asymptotes. So one root locus is going to this asymptote, another is at along 300, and last one is along the 180. Then both breakaway point, valid breakaway point. So from this complex pole, root locus come at breakaway point, will intersect, will collide, one branch end on 0, another branch go to infinity. So whatever the conditions that we made through this numerical should be satisfied completely, and we can see here these are satisfied very well. So this was the very last numerical of root locus. From next lecture we will start new unit, which is the last unit, Bode plot. Okay, so thank you.